these are Oxford's new Quickways, which are cycle lanes on the main roads, some of the main roads around Oxford. And as you can see, they are broken white lines. What that means is that you, as a driver, you can dip into them if you need to, but they're there to protect cyclists as much as possible. Now, these cycle lanes have been carefully designed so that the idea is that two double-decker buses can easily pass each other on these roads while still not encroaching on the cycle lanes. And so what that means is that basically we just need to drive a little bit more closely to the middle of the road, because there's loads of room. If there's room for two double deckers to pass each other, there's room for pretty much everything else on the road, unless you're in a tank or something. So don't worry, you can drive a bit more closely to the middle of the road and it won't be a problem. And the worst that can happen is that you might hit a wing mirror, but hitting a wing mirror is far preferable to knocking over a cyclist in my view. So let's just keep out of the cycle lanes where we can, give each other space. The other main point here is that all of these roads have now become 20-mile-an-hour limits. So there really isn't much point trying to rush past everyone because it's a 20-mile-an-hour limit. So I just wanted to show how we can get down some of these roads driving carefully without having to create hostility for other road users. And so I'm just going to drive nice and considerately and show you just how easy that is. So we've got a red light, we've got an advanced stop box. I'm not going to stop in that. I'm going to keep out of the cycle lane. And I can drive, as I said before, I can drive well out to the cycle lane and pass other cars. Now, this crossing is awful for pedestrians, and lots of people don't notice this crossing and they fly through it. So drive defensively with your foot over the brake and be prepared to stop at that particular pedestrian crossing. So we've got a bus stop, so I can pull over slightly into the cycle lane. I didn't need to in the end. There we go. Very easy to stay out of the cycle lane and go past the bus. Another pedestrian crossing, so I'm going to drive defensively, just hovering over the brakes. I'm still going 20 miles an hour. There's no more crossing. This is what 20 miles an hour is like on this road. Now we're coming up to a bit of a pinch point here, in that the road does narrow. There's a pedestrian crossing, which means there's an island in the middle. All that means is there isn't room for a cycle lane. So I'm just going to keep my eye out. There's no cycles near me. There's a guy on a skateboard. Good man. He wants to go that way. And I'm going to keep out of the way of the ambulance. Okay, so we're back just on the Iffley road. Now this part of the Quickway is actually where there is a solid white line just coming up on this bend to the left, and this is specifically to protect cyclists as they go round. There's been a fair amount of issues with, so you can see here, now there will be some wands installed on this bit, so drivers won't have any choice but to keep out of the cycle lane there. And that's just to make sure that drivers don't inadvertently encroach on the cycle lane around that left-hand bend. As you can see, we've got another crossing, so I'm going to drive defensively. Do these guys need to cross? No, they don't. But I've slowed down just in case. We've got someone stopped in the cycle lane, which is never very helpful. And I'm passing cyclists here, and I'm leaving the 1.5 metre gap as advised in the highway code. So that's 1.5 metres from the cyclist, not from the curb or the middle of the cycle lane. That's from where the cyclist is, so give them plenty of space. We've got another crossing here. There's no one pressing the button, but I'm still driving defensively. And we've made it to the plane. And again, road narrows a little bit. I'm keeping out of the cycle lane. I am going to go around and go up the next Quickway. So round the plane, keeping an eye out for cyclists again. Very dangerous, this bit of the roundabout. Unfortunately there's a ghost bike just up here. Very tragic accident earlier this year, and I'm going to come off onto the Cowley road. And so this is another new Quickway. Immediately when I'm crossing, driving defensively, no one crossing, it's fine. Taxis picking up. Now obviously double yellow line, it's perfectly fine for taxis to pick up from there, as long as they don't just park there. Another crossing, no one crossing, so I'm okay. Keeping out of the cycle lane. Another crossing, light control crossing this one, no one here. I've got someone struggling to park up here, so buses are on my side. And they're out. Oh, okay, that's someone I know. So give him a bit of space. I'm not sure he's going to make that. Keep an eye out for cyclists. There's no one around me at the moment. There's another crossing up here, so slow down, be prepared to stop for people crossing. It's very busy on this one, and I'm going to keep away from the curb so cyclists can come up and filter beside me if they need to. Loads of space for cars in the middle of the road. No one crossing, we're good. Again, 20 mile an hour limit here, but when it's like this, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna give these guys some space. On the crossing. So these are all of these pinch points here. It's just hang back from the cyclists. We don't need to rush through. There'll be space up ahead if we need to overtake. But as I say, 20 mile an hour limit anyway. So I'm not going to push through because that will create hostility for other road users, and that's not very considerate. So I'm just going to hang back. I might have a chance now, but probably not, because there's a car pulling out and another crossing up ahead. Giving the cyclists enough space. No point overtaking here, there's a crossing up ahead. No one crossing, so I think I might have space to pull out and get past. There we go. Oh, there's a pedestrian. Let's slow down here. Alright, buddy. Another crossing, so you're driving defensively. Leaving space away from the curb for the cyclist to filter. That looks highly illegal. Driving defensively through the traffic light control pedestrian crossing, another pinch point, we've got some police, speed camera, so there's lots and lots going on that you just need to keep slow and drive carefully through. Not sure what's happened here. Just go around. So yeah, more cycle lane here. Lots of space for cars, as you can see, and buses, as I mentioned earlier, designed so that buses can pass each other, so there's loads of room for us drivers without having to go in the cycle lane. This one's interesting. This one we need to pull out, keep out the cycle lane all the way across here, because there's still provision for parked cars here, so lots of space still without going anywhere near the cycle lane. I'm still going at 20 miles an hour. That's the speed limit the buses will be going at. And this e-bike by the looks of it. Another crossing, so not going to speed through, just going to wait for the cyclist. Where's he going? He's going to go that way. Okay, good. See you, buddy. And so the cycle lane continues. Young lad was riding on the pavement there. Now he looked about 12 to me. The idea of these Quickways is that when people get used to them, that a 12-year-old should be able to cycle safely in the Quickways on the cycle lane without needing to go on the pavement. It's perfectly understandable that the amount of cars and traffic and the speed that people use this road, that a 12-year-old doesn't feel comfortable on the road. So let's try and make it less hostile for people and drive a bit more considerately. This is a brand new crossing here. This is actually a parallel crossing with a crossing for both pedestrians and cycles. And then another light control crossing. So just driving defensively, not forcing our way through. Not enough width on the road here for the Quickway cycle lanes, so just painted bicycles on the road, but just advising you just to keep an eye out for bikes and make sure that you give them space anyway, because they haven't got a cycle lane here, because the road is slightly narrower and there's no room. And another zebra crossing, just no one crossing here, so we're okay. And we're going to head up the hill, sticking to 20 miles an hour. Look out for this guy. Okay, go on then. That's the Cowley Road Quickway. Past the police station, keep out the cycle lane, loads of space, cycle lane only on one side here. And pedestrian crossing gets busy with the bus drop off just there, so we'll let this one go through. And that's the Swan Junction.